Welcome back to another video. This is definitely not the typical video I would post because I'm in real life right now. But there's something behind this door that I have been wanting to work on for a long time. And let me just open it up. May or may not be a project car. So, why is it so small? All right, so this is my new fun project car. Not anything that I would have expected to do, but for the little backstory, this is a 2011 Boss 302 Mustang Power Wheels. And this is the first car that I've ever driven. It's gonna need some work, like the stickers are all torn up from it being, 15 years old now. The radio might need some work because pressing the buttons, they do nothing. Let's see. If we open up the hood, those are gonna need some work. And then there's no battery. So, backstory on this car. All right, backstory on this car. I used to own it, then I gave it to my little cousin. And he had it for a little bit. And my uncle replaced the battery because that one crapped out. Now it runs on DeWalt batteries. So I'm gonna have to try and figure that out. Now, luckily, if everything works perfectly fine, the shifter should still work. But yeah, this thing is gonna need a good wash. I'm gonna have to replace all the stickers. Some of them are gross. And then, yeah, we're gonna have to end up repainting this thing. I don't know how many parts this video is gonna be, because even these wheels are gonna have to get re-chromed. That's gonna be a nightmare. And also, you're gonna have to excuse my voice for these couple videos, at least for this first part, because this is probably gonna be a multi-part series, because my voice is shot and I have no idea what happened. But yeah, let's get into repairing this radio right now. That's gonna be our first step because it should be pretty easy. All right, and here's the car. So obviously, it's gonna need a lot of cleanup. Stickers are gonna have to get replaced. So if I just take this over here, there's a radio in here. Here it is. Used to work with pre-recorded audio tracks, but it doesn't anymore. And I'm gonna try and fix that up real quick. There are 2 screws on the bottom, which I'm gonna take out now, and it should take 2 AA batteries. Hopefully it's as simple as that. And there goes screw number 1. And there goes screw number 2. Oh, and there it goes. I don't think I needed to take out those screws at all. All right, and here is the radio. I am really intrigued to see, here, let me lift this up. I am really intrigued to see what brand of AA batteries are in this thing, because I haven't shared this anywhere, but this thing, the batteries in here lasted for 13 years before they just eventually went out. It's actually kind of crazy. Now, the one thing that I'm worried about are these things being corroded. But they are perfectly fine. What in the world? Oh, I need 3. I only got 2. But still, these are perfectly fine. That's insane. There's no corrosion. What are these? They're alkaline batteries. Is that why? Is it because they're alkaline? Berkeley and Jensen. That's crazy. I've just been informed that Berkeley and Jensen is the store brand BJ's batteries. So I think they're just crazy. Anyways, let's just pop these into here. We got Duracell now. Hopefully they're just as good. And let's close it up. Should probably dry that off first. Oh shoot. Okay, it works. Okay, we're doing that later. Okay, it works, and that's really loud. All right, so now that we know that the speaker works, I'm gonna install it back in here. And also I found out I do need those screws, so pop it back in there. Let's get these screws back in. Holy crap. All right, let's just make sure it works again. Oh yeah. Oh, we're back. All right, I'm running out of things to do while it's raining and I can't really take this thing outside. I'm gonna be lifting up the seats and seeing what's under there. And these screws are in there pretty good. All right, there's 1, 2, and 3. And I think there might be screws on the front parts of the seat. Okay, there is a lot of crap back there. This is actually not as terrible as I thought it would be. All right, looks like that's a tomorrow thing. Sweet, that's amazing. All right, now for a test to see how badly the dirt is on here. I have a wet wipe, and we're just gonna see how much comes off, and that'll determine how much work I have to do tomorrow to clean this thing. So, if we just do that. Okay, that's the best case scenario. This is all surface dirt. Okay, look at that. It all just comes right off. That's disgusting, but it looks so much better instantly. You can see the little sparkles in the paint, in the plastic. Okay, that means my job is gonna be so easy tomorrow. Tomorrow morning, let's go. Day 2, cut to day 2. All right, welcome back. Day 2. Today we're gonna be cleaning out this whole car, starting with in there. First, I gotta figure out how to take the seats out. Judging by looking at it, I think I just pull it. Oh, there we go. There goes 1. No, and there goes 2. Sweet. All right, there go the seats. Let's get this, at least that bit cleaned. All right, well that's better. That also, I'm pretty sure confirms that there's nothing living in there. I might just have to wash it out fully though, because there is still a lot of dirt in there. All right, we'll take that for now. All right, on to the next step of cleaning out the hood. I have this concoction of cleaning stuff. I don't know exactly what's in it, in this spray bottle. So I'm gonna be spraying down pretty much the whole car and trying to clean as much as I can without destroying the stickers. And also, for a little backstory on this car while I clean, so it used to be mine, then I gave it to my little cousin, and he used it for a little bit, but then we moved, and then he used it for a little longer. It stayed in their garage for like 2 years. Went there for Christmas one year, it was still there, the radio still worked. Went there the next year, it wasn't there anymore. I was like, oh man, that stinks. I guess they took it to the dump. Then, as I move into my new house, my uncle's like, oh, when you move in, I'm gonna have to give you your Mustang back because it's just sitting in our backyard. I'm like, wait, you still have it? Because I'm pretty sure that most of these are in a landfill right now. So this is a very rare thing right here. All right, another thing I found out is that you can actually take off the headlight covers just with this one screw. So that's gonna be very nice. It's very nice for cleaning it. That was really easy to take off, and these things are disgusting. There we go. All right, headlight covers are off. Now let's get in there. Look at all that, it just came off of there. I don't even know how old some of that dirt is. Oh, okay, the entire light assembly comes out. Oh shoot. All right, so this headlight confirms it. These pieces are actually chromed. It's not some paint, no, they're actually like chromed, like actual thing. That's pretty crazy. That actually looks pretty good for crappy plastic that's sat out for so long. Maybe if I remember, I'll show the picture of it sitting in the backyard. That looks amazing. I don't know if you can really tell a difference, but looks pretty good. All right, let's pop that back on. There we go. Left headlight is pretty much done for now. Let's move on to this one. And there we go, headlight 2 is pretty clean. Then get this screw back on. There we go. All right, headlights are pretty much done. Now I do see some more dirt on it, or on the car in general, so I'm just gonna start cleaning some of that off. Another thing that I'm just now noticing, I might end up replacing this entire thing because this just looks bad. I might 3D print something to go over it. Who knows? All right, guys, we're back a couple hours later. So it turns out my neighbor's friend bought a Laguna Seca Boss 302. I'll put some pictures and like a slideshow or something on screen. That's a pretty rare version of this car, so that was a fun little coincidence. So I just went to the store and I probably bought the most expensive thing for this whole project. A new battery. This thing was $200. So this thing should be up and running by hopefully the end of this video. So I'm gonna go charge this and then we're gonna finish cleaning the car. Look at that, the hood already looks nice and shiny, and the windshield. That looks awesome. All right, let's keep going. Now, unfortunately, if I want to get a deep clean, I'm going to have to remove the stickers, but that's going to be a next video problem. All right, let's move on to the back. All right, now time for the fun part. This entire side is just like full of algae, which stinks because this is the best looking sticker and I'm just gonna have to spray it all down. All right, the entire body is cleaned and wiped down. Now it's time for the wheels. These are probably gonna be a major disappointment because they're gonna have to most likely be re-chromed, and that's gonna stink. Let's just see what happens with this one because I don't know how much of this is dirt and how much of this is scrapes. I mean, that took off some stuff, but it didn't really do anything. So that means I'm gonna have to re-chrome the wheels. All right, now let's work on the seats. I'm gonna take out the seat belts first. That's the seats pretty clean for now. Let's put them back in. And actually, before I forget, I'm gonna wipe down some of the inside just because it's very dirty. Try and avoid the stickers. All right, seats are all dry. Let's pop them back in. There we go. All right. Let's get the screwdriver. I can already tell that these screws are gonna be the ones that come out the most, so I'm not even gonna tighten them fully. And that's the seats, and I'm pretty sure everything is as clean as I can right now. So I'm gonna go get the battery and see how that's going, and then hopefully we can try and start this thing up. All right, so I got this thing jacked up on a bunch of water bottles, so that way, just in case if this thing starts to run away because the throttle is messed up, once I plug it in, then it won't go anywhere, it'll just spin. All right, let's open this up and hope that this battery works. Let's plug it in. Okay. So nothing happened, that's good. Now I'm gonna press the gas and see what happens. Oh yeah. All right, so I got some good news and some bad news. Good news, it runs. So it can go forward, I just gotta lean forward so it doesn't wheelie. And as you saw from that, it can go backwards too. The transmission works, which is awesome. Just unfortunately, there's only one speed on that thing. It used to have a slow and a fast mode. Now it only has a fast mode, but that's completely fine. And with that, I would call part 1 of this video series a success. We were able to clean it up, get it running on a battery that was unreasonably expensive, get it all nice and shiny, and get all the random dirt out. And it runs. And the radio works. And now some things left on the checklist that I can think of. I need to replace all of these stickers, maybe 3D print a new steering wheel. I don't know, I'll figure that one out. New stickers, chrome the wheels, paint the car. Oh yeah. When I get this sticker, I'm gonna change it to 20.0 volts instead of 12.0 because it runs on 20 now. And next video, oh yeah, obviously these stickers actually might stay. They look pretty good. That one's gonna get replaced. I might change that license plate name instead of Try Me to maybe like Boss 302 or something. I have no idea. And I think that's really it. So next video, you can expect to see this thing fully taken apart. But I will take that. It runs, it looks pretty clean, so yeah. See you in the next video.